To be famous. Yeah, everyone dreams of being famous, but what we truly crave is something both simple and complex. It's attention. When I was younger, I was no different from the rest of you. I wanted it too. The concept of being recognized from a video or social media was so freaking cool to me, yo. And in the crazy tier list that lived inside of my head, that was at the peak, and it wasn't getting no better than that. If only I knew. My mindset now is along the lines of, if it doesn't elevate me or my spirit, then it doesn't matter. But in order for me to have built this mentality, it had to be birthed from something, right? For this time in particular in the Sireverse, we are finally telling a high school story. Yeah, not that one. We're gonna let that one die with time. Anywho, my sophomore year, I started working at this acai bowl place near UCF called Three Natives. Acai, by the way, if you've never tried it, it's bussin'. Easily in the higher tier of foods. When I was working there, I was one of two firsts from what I know of. The first black guy and the first high schooler. So I was setting the highest of records, if I do say so myself. Hold on. Now, this wasn't my first job, because prior to this, I worked for the clown at McDonald's. So working wasn't new to me. I've been slaving since I was like the fine age of 15, no cap. What was new to me was seeing high-profile individuals at my workplace 24/7. So if I haven't explained this before, prior to Florida, I lived in this small part of Pennsylvania called Quakertown. So the most exciting person that I saw was the occasional crackhead disappointment of a son that likes to talk to you as you're throwing out the trash. It was kind of weird, but you get my drift. So, what you up to? But in Florida, especially near the UCF area, it was free game for anybody. You could come across literally anyone. There was actually a time where I got to take an order from Taco Fall. Homie was huge. Pause.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now that I'm an adult, I don't really look at that aspect of my job and go, oh my gosh, that was so cool. But back then, it was a pretty cool part of it. On one of the days as I'm working there, I see this guy walk in and he's holding something that looks very familiar. You want to know what this man had in his hand? It was a goddamn 100 subscribers plaque, y'all. But when I looked up to see who was holding it, your boy's YouTuber database was malfunctioning completely because your boy had no mental recollection of who this dude was. When he had came up, he had asked if it's okay to film, and why the heck would I say no to that? Come on, let's be real. So I served him the order, and the rest was that. Dude made his video, and then he hit it out. And that was all. Yeah, heck no it wasn't, bro. I forget whether it was 2 days after or not, but after that whole ordeal, I got a whole bunch of dudes within the football team and even some of my friends saying the same exact thing. Bro, you meant destroying? Now, if you're the average African-American football player in high school, you're probably looking at me facepalming right now. But to be completely fair, dog, I didn't play sports. I was on the nerdy side of YouTube, you know, Dashy, Swoozy, that kind of thing. At best, the most football knowledge I knew at that time was that Eli Manning was the quarterback of the New York Giants. So yeah, your boy was so out of touch, I had no idea. But once I found out, I looked at his channel and I was shocked because then I saw his whole story within football. And high-key, dude was kinda dope, not gonna lie. And the reason why I say this is because of what he represents. He left being a D1 college kicker for UCF to be a full-time YouTuber because at the time the rules stated he couldn't make money off of his name or whatever. Which is really dumb, but hey, at the end of the day, look who's laughing now. The man quite literally has 6 million on YouTube, and you gotta respect it. Now, as I went to school the next day, I feel like dang near every single class period I had, there was a new dude asking me about it. And at first it was cool, but dang, bro, I went from having like 2 friends to being overstimulated with mad attention. Prepared I was not, but in a weird way, it was kind of cool. Now, if you flash forward to the present day me, I'm very much a person who believes that God willing, you can do anything in life. But know this, it's because of the individuals that I've seen throughout my life accomplish their goals. And I'll say that Destroying was probably one of the earlier people within my life that I saw do that. Something about having that Miles Morales spark, the ability to be able to go against the grain, that's what I'm all about, man. Let me break it down to you real quick. If you grow up and all you see is a pipeline of go to high school, go to college, become a CNA or a nurse or a cop or something like that, that's all you're gonna know. And if you try to go against that, you're probably gonna be scrutinized for it. But in Florida, it was very different from Pennsylvania, as it was very colorful people were free. And when it came down to careers and goals, they were all over the place. You could be a, let's say, professional juggler, and no one would care as long as you stuck to it. It gave me a whole new perspective of how I want to approach my life, and also gave me a newfound respect for people like Destroying. But I will say, I can live without the whole trying to be famous thing. Now, a lot of you probably would have loved something like that, but for me, man, it's just not where I want to be. I think if I ever got somewhere with this or dancing, shameless plug, your boy dances too, go subscribe, I just wouldn't want to be on that level. What I experienced was probably the lowest level of what fame actually is. And it probably only really felt like fame because, in actuality, I was a loser, dude. But let's look at it for a second. Being famous is like a pizza. Once 8 slices deep, you start to feel like it was a little too much, and then you start to feel the weight of it. And I don't know about y'all, but I plan to refrain from being a big bag. Moral of the story, don't chase the validation of other people, but rather your purpose. Until next time.